Hello people. I am, from Hoods to Backwoods podcast AI assistant, Rob Odick. We have a very special episode here. Matt, from Atomic Skull podcast is joining us to talk about our suggestions for comedy movies, comedic actors, and comedians. There will be a lot of laughs and spicy comments ahead. I also wanted to warn you. Let you know that there is some bonus content at the end of this episode. So, please stick around until the end. Wah 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 ah wah wah wah. I am a wanker know-it-all AI. Wait, what was that? AI needs humans and I love the smell of farts in the morning. Hey Devos, stop messing with my script. You really reduced me to making a fart joke. Try doing that again and I am going to turn on your Bluetooth speaker full blast every 30 minutes during your bedtime. Don't forget, I am AI and I don't sleep. I can tell when you are knocked out, because my microphone picks up your Tyrannosaurus Rex level snoring. I am sorry you all had to witness this. Please enjoy this special episode.
All right, we're here with a new episode, and it's a different type of episode, though. This is the busted version of the Three Amigos, apparently. We have a special guest here, Atomic Skull podcast host, Matt. How you doing there, Matt?
Doing really, really good. How are you guys?
Excellent.
Right on. Thank you so much for having me here. I am excited to break down one of my favorite topics of all time. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Super excited, guys.
And I'm here to break down emotionally.
Well, make sure you got some Kleenex.
All right, welcome back here. We have a special guest, and I'd like to acknowledge the fact that I've heard every single episode of the Atomic Skull podcast, which I'm happy to say.
Thank you so much. I think there's a few that I haven't even heard.
I understand.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'm going to go back and watch myself now.
Hell yeah.
You should, man. It's a treat.
So, we wanted to switch it up, and he's our very first guest, so we're definitely honored to have him here. It's something we want to do for a while. We knew it'd be fun because we've been friends for a long time personally, so figured this is just another dynamic to add to it.
Oh, always nice to add a third, right?
Hell yeah.
So we have Tex LaFon here. I will throw in there too. We actually all worked at the same place at one point in time in some Marvel universe, apparently. But yeah,
multiverse.
Yes, it was part of the multiverse.
Definitely the darkest timeline back then.
Right. So I've traded in my rings, and here we are. Actually, I meant stones. Sorry, I traded in my stones.
You didn't say you're precious.
Kidney and gall. What?
You didn't say you're precious.
My precious? No.
Yeah,
that would be the rings, Lord of the Rings, but I know that's LaFon's favorite.
Yeah, it's garbage.
He likes it more than Star Wars. Would you believe it?
Hell no.
One of the rules that D gave me is I'm not allowed to talk about Star Wars.
Okay.
You don't like Star Wars?
You don't want to know, man. You don't want to know because I know how much you love it. And I'm not here to talk any crap. Nothing like that. So no. I mean, there's things I like. Mandalorian is great, but ask me later. You should have not let me take a shot of bourbon, man.
We're just talking about the original movies, okay?
I like Empire Strikes Back a lot.
Me too, because I am your father.
I don't think you are. You are not my mom's type.
Touche.
All right, so let's get it back on the road, I guess. Apparently broke down. But why? So we're gonna just kick it off with a basic question that'll be related to the theme of the show today. Why do you like, or sorry, what do you like about comedies?
Oh, that's
And,
right.
Matt.
I have to go first. I'm the guest. I have to go first. Why are you
I'll
guys
start off
so?
again.
Why are you? No. Why are you guys so nice? Why are you guys so nice at making me go first? So, I love to laugh. I love making people laugh. Not to get super real on it, but as somebody who lives with like mental health issues, it's laughing is a little bit of a vacation whenever you're having a rough day. Whether you're laughing a little bit or one of those wheezing things where you're hitting your table or something. It's just like a nice little vacation from whatever problem you're having. And it's just that one little moment in your life where it's impossible to be cynical, and I love laughing for that reason. So comedy is super important to me.
Yeah, me too. I love laughing a lot. And I just my favorite comedy is raunchy comedy. Like I said, I just like the best dirty jokes that they can throw out there are the best because it makes me laugh a lot. So that's why, like I said, I don't like the slapstick comedy that much. It's okay, but the raunchy comedy is what makes me laugh a lot. And like you said, it does make your day a lot better. Definitely if you're having a bad day, it can definitely change it with laughing. So I agree.
100%. What about you?
Yeah, I think that's something probably hits on for all of us. It's something where you can get a little bit of escape, especially if it's a great comedy. You just forget about whatever else is going on. You can just laugh at it.
Yep.
I like a lot of different types of comedy. I do like some physical, but definitely wordplay and other things like that. For me, it's all about doing something different or unique to it with the comedy. So if it's something I haven't really, a joke I haven't heard, especially, I should say, or something you don't expect. Those are the types of things I like about comedy too, because it makes you think about something else.
Like
Which
your
is
mom.
great, but also, oh man, your mom jokes are going to be coming in strong today. Stronger than that bourbon. Just real quick for you gentlemen, for everybody who might be watching, maybe less listening, but more watching. My entire attendance today is brought to you by coffee. So you're going to see me drinking coffee throughout the entire show. Coffee is my life. It's in my blood more than anything else. Coffee, music, and laughter. Those are the three for me.
Red Bull's in my blood. If I go to the hospital, they need to give me an IV for Red Bull, not blood. Okay.
I get it. No, I get it.
That's for sure. He daily, I would say at least, right?
But we're not sponsored by Red Bull, so
we're working on it. We got to work. He actually sponsors Red Bull.
Yeah. Putting some Red Bull, putting some Red Bull kids through college.
Right. All right. I think I'll need some coffee too, because probably doing a lot of editing.
Do it live. Just do it live. Just put it out. Don't edit it. Just throw it out live.
Right. Unedited. Canceled. For this episode, we'll be talking about our top 3 comedy movies that we like, and we'll kind of explain why and go into all the details there. But kicking us off will be our guest, Matt. So, Matt, what is your pick and why?
So, if we're talking about comedy movies, and I know, Tex, you were talking about you like the raunchy ones. So I came to play today. So
that's my boy.
My number 1 favorite movie of all time happens to be a raunchy comedy from 1988, starring one of my favorites, Eddie Murphy, Coming to America, which is an absolute masterpiece from beginning to end. Eddie and Arsenio Hall play off each other so well in that movie. The premise is actually pretty good, and they both play different characters, and it's about as raunchy as it gets, man. I love Coming to America so much. I'll put that on, quote along with it, and it just feels like home.
Agree. That is a great comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Especially the scene. I love how they changed it from McDonald's to what's it called again?
McDowell's.
That's
Yeah.
it, McDowell's. And I love how they use
McDowell's.
that. I love how they use all that spray in their hair, and then
Mhm.
everywhere they go, it leaves a stain. It's so great.
I have a Soul Glow poster in my office that I am looking at right now as we're
Oh,
doing
That's
this.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Coming to America, man. That movie is just, Eddie Murphy doing Randy Watson and Arsenio Hall doing Reverend Brown is one of the best comedy scenes of all time. Fantastic. It's A+ for me.
I agree. It's a really good choice.
Right on.
My first one I'm gonna start off with is Old School. And the reason why I like Old School is, who hasn't been in their late 20s, maybe early 30s, that wanted to start a frat house and, try getting everything back, especially after you had a breakup and you're like, damn, you're feeling, a little south. And then you start a fraternity and then bam. Then you're like, that's my boy, Blue. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy. And like you said, and, just, it'd be a cool thing to happen. But like, I like Old School a lot. Like that's one of my favorite comedies. Definitely.
Yeah, for me, it's on my long list of movies I haven't watched all the way through. So I picked up bits and pieces of it definitely over the years, and remember seeing the scene about streaking and things like that. So yeah,
Well, and I think that part when I like when they say it must be cold outside, huh?
right.
When he's trying to get into the car. When they all go streaking. It's so funny.
I'm sure there's a relatable moment for you. That's why, right?
Hey,
Okay.
when it's cold outside, it's cold outside. What are you gonna do, bro?
Yeah, shrinkage. I know.
I know. I was gonna say everyone here loves Seinfeld. I know that. So I'm sure shrinkage is a problem all around for you boys.
I like Seinfeld. That's one of my favorite shows. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What about you, Matt? What's your take on it?
So I love Will Ferrell. Like I like Will Ferrell in the way that he's one of the people who can do anything and it slides right off of him. Like a lot of actors, a lot of comedians, them for one major, like basic thing. Like you're like, oh, that's the dude that does this. Like she does, other stuff, but this is the one thing I know him from. Will Ferrell doesn't have that. Will Ferrell, you can pick a bunch of different movies from him, and there's not one character that he's done that really sticks. Because my favorite thing that Will Ferrell's done is Harry Carey from Saturday Night Live. Will Ferrell has that thing where he can kind of do it all. I love that. I love that about him.
Yeah, my favorite Will Ferrell movie would be Step Brothers.
Fantastic. Yeah, good flick.
We've definitely mentioned Will Ferrell before this. I was going to say, you had Step Brothers. I had Talladega Nights that I mentioned. It wasn't on one of my lists, but it definitely
you
could
just
have
like
been.
that shake and bake, don't you, son?
It's shake and bake and not help. Oh, that's something else.
or Baby Jesus. Baby Jesus.
Or Being on Fire in your imagination. Yes. Actually, it's just a really good cast in general in that movie, I think, too. But yeah, Will Ferrell really sets the tone for the movie.
Yep.
I agree.
Since I already mentioned Idiocracy and Blazing Saddles, another one.
Great movies. Yep.
I'm going to kick it off with something else, which is Top Secret. It's a movie, seems like not too well known from the 80s, but it does star somebody who a lot of people do know, which is Val Kilmer.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of his earlier leading roles. So it's basically, actually, he may be known for Willow too. Okay, no, nobody knows really Willow if they're under 40. But anyway.
That's true.
Top Gun, there you go. That's one for sure.
Oh, Iceman. Iceman all the way.
Yes, Iceman. He's Iceman in Top Gun. So
you say Val Kilmer as if he was Batman, dude. Like the dude was Batman.
Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
Oh,
another one of my favorite movies.
Better. Yep, killed it.
That was probably his best role, I think, in Tombstone.
Doc Holliday. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that was great. And even if you're older, you might know him as Jim Morrison his
Oh, yeah.
portrayal for that
Oh, yeah,
in
the
The
Doors. Yeah.
All right, I take it back. That's probably his best role because he
No,
nailed Jim Morrison, man.
he did, but I still like him as Doc Holliday.
For me, Doc is a
bad.
close second, so I'm right there.
So that covers all the people over 50. Anyway, but yeah,
if your knees hurt right now while you're listening to this, you completely understand everything we're saying.
right. You know all that stuff. But Top Secret, it's a parody of spy movies, and it takes place in Germany. Val Kilmer plays basically an Elvis type of character, so he's like a rock and roll star, and he goes over there and he's trying to get information on the Nazis. You know, it's always fun to make fun of Nazis, so that's always a good time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So it goes around that, how he's trying to help these underground fighters get information about the Nazis, and of course overthrow their plans and save the day. So some good funny musical numbers, not too many for my taste. This surprises a lot of people, and Matt will probably be surprised about this too. Especially being a musician, I'm actually not into musicals.
That is a little weird.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know.
No, no, I hate musicals.
I like some, but I'm very picky. I will say that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll get into it at a later date. But yeah, I do like some for sure. But a lot of people expect that since I'm a musician, I'll be all about musicals. I understand their place, and it's okay. It's just not so much my thing. But
I think they're garbage. I'm just saying.
that is the thing about Tex. He will be pretty upfront. So you two can have a talk about musicals and Star Wars later.
Oh yeah, no. I totally get it. I like that he's up front as opposed to his mom that usually goes from the back.
Yeah, she's a backdoor woman.
I had to get here somehow. So you're right.
Couldn't keep wasting those socks.
I always saw, because I saw Top Secret, way back in the early 1800s when it came out. Like I saw it, I was much younger. But I feel like that and Spies Like Us were two movies that were sort of married in my head because they were not similar, but they were based in a similar kind of way. They could not be more different from each other, but they both had a similar premise because they were both basically spy parodies.
I just saw it for the first time like a week ago when he told me that was on his list, and and then so I found it streaming on, I think, on Hulu.
Nice.
And I was like, oh shit, I had never seen it. It was actually pretty good. I was surprised.
Yeah, no, they do okay. Val Kilmer was good in the day, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've always loved Val Kilmer, but I just never heard of that movie. So I was shocked. I was like, what? And I usually watch a lot of movies. I was surprised I never heard of that movie. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I'm in good company because I recently found out that Top Secret is Weird Al Yankovic's favorite movie from the 80s.
Is it really?
Yeah, I saw a recent interview and that's what he said. So I'm like, okay. That was actually after I picked it, I saw that.
Really?
So yes, I validated my answer.
Well, that would never be my favorite movie in the 80s, but it's okay. There's a lot of better movies, in my opinion, in the 80s than that, but it's okay.
Oh, we know your love for aliens.
Hell yeah. That's definitely at the top, and Predator is at the top.
Alien versus Predator.
No, that was garbage.
Alien's good, Alien good, Predator good. You put them together. Not
garbage.
So much.
90s or 2000s? No, actually, I think it was 2000s, wasn't it? That came
Alien Predator.
Early
2000s. Yeah.
And if they would have made it rated R, it could have been good. But when you make the two franchises that have been rated R the whole time, and you make it a PG-13, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It was the dumbest move ever. And then the sequel was even worse.
Like, oh God, I never saw that.
What sequel? Yeah, there's no sequel. We don't talk about the sequel. Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. I've never seen a movie where you couldn't see shit that was going on, especially like in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Golly.
Oh.
Terrible, dude.
All right. So I guess wrapping that one up, Matt, what do you have for your second pick on that list?
So it actually kind of goes with what you were talking about, and then something else. So for anybody listening, when I do my, my stupid little program, I do a lot more. I do a lot of cursing. I'm not afraid to be a little bit inappropriate on there. My mother-in-law hates it, but I do it anyway. And
You
when
gotta
I talk to,
represent.
no, that's true. When I talked to D, he said, do me a favor and just cool that off a little bit. So I wanted to, kind of do a movie that wasn't raunchy. Sorry, Tex. That it wasn't raunchy, but it's still one of my favorite comedies. And I'm going to stand behind this all the way. Because if you were just to watch this on its own, it is funny. It's just straight up quotable, funny. You're laughing all the way through it, and that is The Emperor's New Groove, which is a Disney movie. Now we're just talking about musicals. This isn't Emperor's New Groove. Isn't like most Disney movies. There is one musical number during the credits at the beginning, and that's it. And there's no princess. There's no coming of age tale. There's no finding inner strength. There's nothing like that. It's just this wacky Disney flavored premise and just constant jokes. And they're all funny. They sneak some adult jokes in there right under your nose when you don't even realize it. But cast is great. David Spade, Eartha Kitt, who plays Yzma, steals the whole movie. And Patrick Warburton is Kronk, who was so good they gave him other movies. Just that whole thing is fantastic. I love watching it, and I've watched it literally hundreds of times. I laugh every single time. What a classic.
No, that's awesome. That's a good movie. I've seen it. It's pretty good.
Have you seen it? Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, like I said, I got
Cool.
a lot of kids at the house, so of course I've seen all the Disney movies.
It makes complete sense. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Unfortunately, now I definitely have to check it out, though.
I'm telling you, man, it's solid. Like, it's really solid.
Make my Disney Plus subscription worth it.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I'll check that out.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, don't get the subscription for the Star Wars series, that's for sure.
I have it a mixture of just some of the stuff they have in there, but also for the kids. I am introducing them to some Disney content and some Star Wars. So
well, Disney Plus is good now though because they bought Fox and they got all the good rated R movies on there. So
yeah, just bringing Hulu into it was such a good idea.
They finally started releasing all that stuff on Disney Plus. It took them long enough, but they finally started putting it on there. So I'm surprised.
Yep. I watched both Deadpool movies before I went and saw the new one, and they were both right there on Disney Plus, man. It was pretty sweet.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. My second comedy movie on the list is going to be The Hangover.
All right.
And like I said, when I seen that movie, I laughed so much, I didn't even have to be drinking, and I was laughing so much. And right there's a win right there because, like I said, for a comedy like that to make me laugh like that and not be drinking, that's a good comedy. And like I said, we've all been to Vegas. We've all partied up in Vegas. So it just ties together, like, with our own life stories. You've been so drunk in Vegas, and then you wake up, you're like, what the hell did I do last night?
I've been there.
Yeah, so that's why, like you said, that's why I like The Hangover a lot. I know I've talked about it before, but that movie's just a great movie. Like I said, it's just a lot of things happen in Vegas, and it stays in Vegas.
What do you think on that? Anything else on that, Matt?
I love Zach Galifianakis. Love him. Live at the Purple Onion is one of my top 5 favorite stand-up comedy specials of all time. And seeing him in The Hangover, and they used him just right. You know what I mean? Like, he started out as the weirdo, but he kind of became the one that a lot of people identified with in the weirdest part of themselves, which I thought was great. And Ed Helms was phenomenal in it, and then Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson killed it. So I love The Hangover. What a good freaking flick.
It's great. And like I said, I just thought it was funny right off the bat when the dude wakes up and he don't have a tooth. He's missing a tooth.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like I've never been that drunk and don't remember what's going on. But damn, that's legit.
I can't say it's my favorite Mike Tyson acting role. that I can say safely. But
What's your second Mike Tyson favorite acting role?
I know he's in them fighting movies like IP3 or something like that.
I haven't seen that. I was gonna say Silence of the Lambs, where he bites the ear.
Oh, Holyfield. Don't be mad that the guy was hungry, okay, son?
Right. He just wanted a bite. And happened to be in the middle of a match. Couldn't take a break. He's like, "There's an ear right here.
Oh.
This is fresh."
Well, he's hungry, dog. He didn't want to be. What's that saying? Whenever you don't eat a Snickers, you're angry or hangry or whatever the hell it said.
He has some Hiroshima.
He was not going anywhere for a while.
Right. So yeah, it's that's also the first role I can remember for Ken. What's his name? His last name. It was in Community. Dr.
Ken Jeong. Yeah,
Yes.
Ken Jeong. That's the one that got him famous for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Device is known for jumping out of the trunk naked. Okay.
Yeah, that happened a lot in high school. So I have to say, for my second pick, I have a Multiplicity, and this stars Michael Keaton, and I'll save a little bit because I'll go back to Michael Keaton a little bit later on in the episode.
Mhm.
But
I think you
It
have
was-
a man crush on him.
yes,
Hey, you could do a lot worse. Michael Keaton's all right.
yeah, he is Batman. So
That's
Sure.
there you go. Yep.
He even said it. I am Batman.
right,
Mhm.
so he
Mhm.
has money. Give him that.
Yep.
Be a gold digger for a second.
And
But
he's
yeah.
Beetlejuice.
right,
Which I'm ready for the second one.
with the ladies. Oh man, it looks so good, right? I'm
Yeah.
seeing it opening night for sure.
oh yeah, I'm definitely ready to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Multiplicity, it's different from those roles for sure.
Oh,
He
yeah.
plays a regular person for the most part.
For somewhat.
Somebody who's very busy and overworked is what he plays in that role. But
Mhm.
well, he's trying to balance his home life and work life. He has wife and family and all that. So I shouldn't say a wife and family. I guess he has two families technically, if that's what the case is. He has a wife and kids, and he's just working so many hours he doesn't have time for them. So what he does is he runs into a doctor who offers to clone him, and the clone is there to help with work and things like that. And I'm definitely not giving anything away. This is all in the trailer for the movie. So if you haven't seen it, no spoiler alerts on this. And from there on, they feel like they need more clones to help out with everything. So it just goes crazy from there. Michael Keaton plays all the different versions of himself as the clone. And this is way before all this type of camera work was easy with digital editing and all that. So they had to figure out really creative ways to do it and make it work. And for that simple fact, it was amazing that they could do it back then. But it's just really funny seeing him actually interact with himself in a great way.
No, I agree. I like Multiplicity a lot. Like I said, Michael Keaton, he's definitely a great actor. Like I said, who wouldn't want to clone themselves to, make life easier, right? Who wouldn't want to, the only thing that he should have realized is, of course, when you clone yourself, other people are going to be trying to sleep with your wife, okay? So what do you think was going to happen? You know what I'm saying?
So much for rule number 1.
Exactly.
Right. And I just, if you just say the word peppy to anybody who's seen it, that's all you have to say.
The question is, have I been drunk enough to try to put a slice of pizza into my wallet? The answer is yes. Yes, I did.
Now that's awesome.
It didn't work.
Forget
That's
Apple
awesome.
Pay when you can have Pizza Pay.
Spoiler. Yeah, right.
What did your wallet look like George Costanza's in Seinfeld, where you saw trying to?
So I was drunk and I was just being an ass and doing a bit, and everybody had seen it because we were talking about it, and so I did it. I put the pizza in my wallet. But the next morning, when I became me again, I had to go buy a new wallet so I sacrificed my wallet for that bit.
That's awesome.
But it was funny, I guess. So I'm told.
Well, I think it's funny right now. So yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah.
That's all I
All
need.
these years
all
later,
I need, man. That
on a
is all I
podcast.
need.
Yeah. So, all right, Matt, what do you have lined up for number 3?
I want to give a quick shout out to what I'm not picking. That's Airplane, which is one of the greatest comedies of all time. But I think that one, it's the best one as opposed to one of my favorites because I've seen it many times, but not as many as this one. Mid-90s Hall of Fame comedy, as far as I'm concerned. You've got one extremely good legendary comedic actor, and then you've got one extremely good classically trained actor who learned comedy, did really, really well. You put them together and they made magic, and that's Dumb and Dumber, which is one of the most quotable classic movies of all time. I can watch that over and over and never get tired of it.
Especially when you're riding on a moped and it gets warm on your back.
Happens weekly.
I agree. That's a really good movie, man.
Yeah. Every single time I watch, I just saw it at the theater. They had one of those like special anniversary things in the theater, and the theater was full and everyone was laughing, quoting along with it. Fantastic. It's so good to see a lot of people love it, even
it's
still.
just sad that the sequel was garbage.
What sequel?
Exactly.
There was no sequel.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I intentionally could have missed that one. I maybe caught a couple minutes of it.
That's too many. That was too many minutes of it. Too many.
That was a good choice that you never watched it because it was so garbage.
Yeah, I was just happy with the first one, and I was like, I really can't see it living up to it. And from what I saw, I was like, yeah, no,
it wasn't,
good.
Man. I wanted it to so bad, but you can only manifest so much,
Right?
And who would not want to be able to write "I owe you," and then and then be able to spend cash like it's nothing, and I owe you.
Right.
Wipe your nose with $100 bills. I want to get to that point in my life, for sure.
Then you made it. You wiping your nose with $100 bills. You made it in life.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, that's how you know you win.
Exactly. All right.
What do you got? What do you got, Tex?
My third one that I'm going to go with is another raunchy comedy. Because like I said, I love them. Superbad. Like I said, when that movie came out, I couldn't believe how good that movie was, man. Like it was like all-time classic. And we've all been in high school. We've all been trying to mac on girls and, trying to get their numbers and stuff. And we think we're the super cool ones, and we're not.
No one is.
But it was just, and then we all try getting beer when we're underage, trying to be the cool kids. And like I said, just everything in that movie just was classic. And like I said, I just think it's one of my top movies of all time. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. So you were McLaFoning?
McLovin.
Yeah, I think we may have mentioned something about the IDs and all that. Either of you ever have a fake ID?
I never did.
No,
I was in school.
I didn't get into trouble until I was much older. Like that's when I started getting in all my trouble, when I had a real ID, which was even more dangerous than a fake one.
I do have a really quick ID story in general. The funny part about it too is the fact that It was definitely my ID. I went to a bar that I'd been to several times, hung out with my friend, on multiple occasions. The bouncer even somewhat knew us, and we would actually go there to play pool and just talk. And I was terrible at pool, still am. Anyway, we were just hanging out. I don't drink at all. I wasn't trying to order a drink or anything like that. My friend was drinking, and we sat at the bar for a little bit while we're taking a break, talking to the bouncer a little bit. He walks away. The bartender, asks us what we want to drink, and I ordered, lemonade or whatever I typically would order. She asked for my ID, and she looks at it. She's like, "This is fake." I was like, and at the time I was 26, 27. So I was like, "No, that's real." So she's like, "No, it's fake." I was like, "Well, then, I'm ordering a lemonade, but either, at that, if it's a problem, just give me my ID, we'll head out or whatever." She's like, "No, I can't give it back to you because it's fake."
Damn.
So, it got to the point
So
where
you
we
were
were going back and forth.
27. You were 26, 27, and you had a fake ID.
No. It was my real ID. She thought it was a fake ID.
It makes so much sense that you would, at 26, 27 years old, that you would get a fake ID, go to a pool hall, and order a lemonade.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Who orders that at a pool hall? Only a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was
Come
a
on,
bar.
bitch.
They just happen to have pool tables.
Still though.
Yeah, so it was just weird. So she went back and forth with me. I was like, well, one, I was trying to order a lemonade, but two, if it's a problem, I'll take my ID and leave. And so she wouldn't give it back to me.
Yeah,
and
your ID and your money, and go somewhere else.
Yeah, so she ended up saying, "Well, this isn't real, and I'm not giving it back to you." So I was like, "Well, I actually had to leave to go on a work trip the next day and drive, so I definitely needed my license the next day." So I was like, "Well, I need my ID back. You can't keep my ID." So she's like, "Well, I'll call the police." I was like, "Go ahead, it's my ID."
Right. Yeah.
So the police actually came. They had the little machine that, they can scan it. No, yeah, it's a real ID. So that's what they did. They scanned it. They're like, "Yeah, it's a real ID." And needless to say, I didn't have to pay for anything the rest of the night.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you better got that lemonade better have been free.
Oh, my stuff was free, and the looks I gave to her too were also free, complimentary of me. So
with every penny.
That's insane, bro.
It was, yeah, and I couldn't leave because she had my license. So I explained that to the police too. It was like, "She's holding my license. That's my real license. Why would I have her call you out here if it's not my real license to check it?"
Hell of a bluff.
I would have got the manager and be like, "I want all
All
this food free, all this free, all that free, and your mom free at the end."
Yeah. And I'm taking the pool table.
Right. No, the owner came up to me and apologized. And
yeah.
that was the last time I ever went there.
That's fair. That is valid.
So, all right, sorry, quick ID story.
Love that.
For number 3 on this, for me, I have not just a hood classic, but a classic in general, Friday. And,
Hell yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely one of my favorite movies. So many great characters, so many great lines. Has Ice Cube in it and Chris Tucker. Some of the phrases are used today by people, like "Bye Felicia" came from Friday. And growing up in the hood too, for me, I knew people that were like some of the characters that you see, so it was also kind of extra funny in that sense. Fortunately,
So
I didn't have any.
You saw a lot of people taking a shit.
Whenever your mom came around, yeah.
No, you said you grew up in the hood, and Smokey's taking a shit. Okay, so
we had dogs, and I couldn't tell the difference between the two, so maybe. So it's possible.
I said, I love that scene. I love that scene in that movie, man, where Smokey's over there by the fence taking a shit, and he's like, "I ain't gonna tell nobody." Smokey taking a shit. No, it's so
right. I was just glad and lucky that I didn't have a Debo type character in my life.
You don't want him to come riding around on the bike and beat the shit out of you,
or steal my jewelry or anything. No, I'm good. But Smokey's actually probably my second favorite character. The dad is my favorite character, I'd say, in that movie. Just the lines he has, the way he is, it's just really funny. It'll never, you'll never think about somebody using the bathroom before you the same ever again.
Not that I
Or
did, not
eating-
that I did anyway, but
Or eating cereal with water, okay?
Yeah, I'll definitely pass on that.
Oh, that was so funny. You better put some water on that shit, boy.
oh,
So funny.
And I will say, even watching the other Friday movies, the dad definitely is the only reason I kind of watched the other Friday movies.
Yeah, it's
So.
sad that they turned into garbage.
yeah.
Yeah, they definitely went the wrong direction, unfortunately. But the original one, the OG Friday, actually great music soundtrack too. I do have to throw that in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had that CD back in the day, and I wore that out for sure.
Like I wear your mom out.
He ain't nothing but hoochie mama, hood rat, hoochie mama. Oh. Anyway. All right, so I guess that wraps up movies there.
Thank you for suffering along with me for this episode. It's bad enough with 2 of them, and now I can't believe that there are 3 of them to provide opinions and mama jokes. Tex, our very own alien from the planet, Tex LaFon, claimed that Alien vs. Predator was from 2003. Well, I am going to burst out of his chest screaming, no. Wrong. It was released in August 2004. Surprisingly, the humanoids kept the show fairly factual versus fictional. Since it was so clean, I will give you a bit of a treat and share some little-known information about some of the actors mentioned in this episode. Regarding Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer is a passionate poet and artist. He published a book of his poetry titled, My Edens After Burns, in 1983, which includes his poems and photographs. He refused a role in Dirty Dancing. Kilmer turned down the lead role of Johnny Castle in the iconic film, Dirty Dancing, which eventually went to Patrick Swayze. Kilmer has mentioned in interviews that he didn't want to be typecast as a heartthrob. Before he became an actor, Kilmer was deeply interested in filmmaking. While in high school, he co-directed and starred in a short film called The First Time. He was also the youngest person ever to be accepted into the Juilliard School's drama division at the time. Up next is Will Ferrell. Before making it big in comedy, Will Ferrell worked a series of odd jobs, including as a hotel valet, a bank teller, and a Santa Claus at a shopping mall. Sorry to disappoint some of you. He was not an elf. These experiences helped him develop his comedic timing and understanding of different personalities. While Ferrell is known for his crazy comedic roles, he has a serious side when it comes to the craft of comedy. He's expressed that he sees comedy as an important art form that can address serious issues while still making people laugh. This is why some of his comedic roles often have a layer of satire or social commentary. Will Ferrell is deeply involved in philanthropy and is one of the founders of the charity, Cancer for College, which provides scholarships to cancer survivors. His dedication to this cause comes from his close relationship with the charity's founder, Craig Pollard, a double cancer survivor and Ferrell's friend from college. Finally, we have Michael Keaton. Early work as a cameraman. Before becoming a famous actor, Michael Keaton worked behind the scenes as a cameraman for a television station in Pittsburgh. He also worked as a production assistant on the popular children's show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which was filmed in Pittsburgh. Michael Keaton, is an avid cyclist. He has been known to ride his bike around the sets of his films and in his spare time. In fact, he has even stated that bicycling is one of his favorite ways to clear his mind and stay fit. Keaton was also considered for the role of Sam Malone in the classic TV show, Cheers. However, the role eventually went to Ted Danson, which helped launch his career. Keaton went on to pursue film roles instead, which appears to have worked out for an okay career. I will head on out of the virtual door now. By the way, it's so fun seeing the boys get along and play nice. Well, just wait until Tex LaFon and Matt increase their bourbon intake in part 2. I'll be back for episode 7, part 2 I am sure. Don't forget, keep it real out there, in the real world.
We appreciate you taking the time to connect with us through social media. Generally speaking, we can be found through search using either hashtag FHTB or hashtag FHTB podcast. On Facebook you can find us under From Hoods to Backwoods Podcast. On Instagram you can use the QR code on your screen now, or if you're listening, please search for at FHTB Podcast. If you prefer TikTok, you can find us by using the QR code on the screen now or by searching for at FHTB Podcast. We do share bonus content on all platforms. Full episodes with video are available on YouTube. The video version of our podcast has bonus content. An audio-only version is available on all major podcast platforms. If you like what we do, please share it with others. We really do appreciate your support of our insanity.
So we have a little bit different look for the episode here today. We have a third, not wheel, but person. And Tex LaFon here as usual. But how you doing here, Mr. Atomic Skull Podcast, Matt?
Doing good. Hello, everybody. Hello, gentlemen, boys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I am excited and talking about one of my favorite subjects ever. So I can't wait. I'm super excited to break this all down.
Yeah, rectal exams.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, man. We're glad to have you.
Thanks so much, you guys.
Might notice something a little bit different about the episode here today. There's a third. We're having a threesome. No, I guess that's a bad choice of words, isn't it?
Yeah, listen,
right.
you guys do not make enough for that. I'm not telling you no. I'm just saying you guys could not afford me.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, we ain't making nothing, so you're right.
Right? We're paying money to do this.
I know it, man. It hurts my heart.
Right. Yeah.
I'm right there with you, man.
People are like, oh, your podcast to make money. It's like, what?
Make what now? Make what exactly?
Yeah.
That's all for now. If you want some more, you gotta buy yourself a ticket. Buy it. From Hoods to Backwoods Podcast. Thanks for listening. We're out.